corridor outside the Inferno room breathes like something alive, low torches pulsing red at the base. Velvet drapes hang quiet along the walls. The air feels tighter, not heavy, just alert. The doors are already open. The crowd has started to file in. Not just the Queen's favorites, strangers, thinkers, watchers, powerhouses in suits and sharp tongues, poets with knives in their metaphors, lawyers with gold pens, artists, rebels, people who carry silence like a weapon. Some nervous, some ready to ruin someone's whole philosophy with a single well-timed pause. The audience seats are almost full, and that obsidian platform, it glows like the fire knows. I'm just off to the side, tailored black suit, tablet in hand, names already memorized, cross-referenced, evaluated. But I check again. Then, Nick enters, not loud, not late, just bold, black on black, textured hoodie under a tailored coat, crown heavy, fitted low on his locks. He's not here to test the room. He's here to test himself. He walks the side aisle, slow and deliberate, and takes a front seat. No words, but the moment says everything. The air adjusts around him. Eyes follow. But the Queen's seat, high, carved, centered in the back, still empty, and they don't know it yet. But she's already here, not seated, not speaking, just watching, already shifting the energy. The air thickens, then Rain Tami enters, dressed like war ended and she won. Crown clean, tilted slightly, just enough to remind the room she doesn't perform, she decides. Black dress, no shimmer, just that long, unbothered energy that follows her like smoke. She doesn't look for anyone. She claims her seat 2 rows behind Nick, on her time. He glances back once, doesn't speak. Then Mista, crown steady, button down open just enough to speak in subtleties. He finds his seat off-center, arms spread across the backrest, relaxed, like he's watching the temperature rise before he bets who breaks. Then siren, cool, understated, but not silent. His crown sits low, nearly disappearing into his fade. He doesn't join the others. He chooses the edge, line of sight open to all. Still no Queen in her seat, and that's when I move. Not rushed, not dramatic, just present. Like a flame that doesn't flicker even when the wind rises. The tablet's at my side, no crown on me. I speak. Cassian. The Inferno room is open. The hush is instant. Every eye lands. Cassian. Tonight we begin with the ones who brought fire in their mouths and truth on their breath. Not all who wear crowns will speak, but all who wear them came to be seen. The words linger. I glance toward the platform, black stone pulsing. Cassian. First prompt comes from a returning voice. Subject. Who decides when peace has done enough? A shift in the front row. Nick leans forward, not rising, just listening. And the first speaker rises. They're young, sharp, no crown, dressed in navy, hungry. They walk the stairs. The obsidian platform glows beneath them. They speak, and the fire listens. Even as the first heat cracks the silence, the Queen's chair stays empty. And somehow, that's louder than any voice in the room. The air tightens now. Crowns gleam under velvet light. Eyes forward, tension winding itself into the ribs of the room. I step forward again. No tablet this time, just presence. Cassian. The Inferno room recognizes its first speaker. No names, no introductions, just wait. A figure rises from the third row. She moves like something dipped in gold, tall, silent, exact. Stilettos whisper across the floor. Long trench open over silk black like midnight. A bone-colored crown tucked into slick curls like it was earned, not worn. She climbs the stairs, doesn't glance at a soul, stops at the center of the stage, and then nothing. No words, just silence. It stretches. Someone in the back coughs, another fidgets. But I don't move, I already know. This is part of it. Then, Speaker.
I once loved a man so much, I helped him hide what he did to someone else.
Voice low, steady. Speaker.
And I still don't regret it.
Heads shift. A whisper spreads from row to row. She doesn't flinch. Speaker.
He didn't ask me to. I offered, because the version of him I loved was worth protecting more than the truth was worth revealing.
2 steps. Wait. Speaker.
And I never told him that while I was hiding his guilt, I was hiding mine too.
A breath. Then a smirk. Speaker.
But that's not the debate I came to start.
She turns to face the crowd. Speaker.
What I want to know is, when you protect someone's truth at the cost of your own, is that still loyalty, or is it just fear wearing your voice?
Hands open. Invitation clear. Speaker.
The floor's yours, if any of you got the mouth for it.
She waits. I stay. Still. Still. No motion from the guards. The fire stays steady beneath her. But something's rising. You can feel it. The room doesn't move. But then... Serene. He rises from the edge. Calm, crown low, suit black, chain glinting once beneath the light. He doesn't head for the platform. Just walks forward. Stops at the bottom of the stairs. Serene.
You call that loyalty?
The speaker lifts her chin. Serene.
That's not loyalty. That's ego with good manners.
A ripple through the audience. Half breath, half murmur. Serene.
You ain't protecting him. You protecting the version of you that you liked when he needed saving. That's not fire. That's vanity.
She watches him. Still. Then. Speaker.
Is it vanity if I never told the story?
Serene.
It is, if you kept telling it to yourself.
The crowd leans in now. This isn't warmth anymore. This is the start of burn. The speaker raises one brow, amused. Speaker.
You want to take the platform, crown and all? Or are you gonna throw stones from the floor?
Serene breathes in. Doesn't climb. Just steps back. Still watching. Still letting the heat build without touching it. I step in. Cassian. The floor remains open. The obsidian glows under her heels. Red first. Always red. But as she turns slow, hands unfolding like a sermon meant to stain, it deepens. Orange. Not all notice. But those who do, they lean forward. The temperature shifts. She paces, not with flair, but purpose. Speaker.
Funny how it's always the ones who never got their hands dirty that want to rewrite the meaning of loyalty.
No glance at Serene. She doesn't have to. The room felt it. She stops near the edge. Lets the orange fire wrap her calves. Speaker.
I didn't come to justify what I did. I came to tell you I did it with both eyes open. And if you've never been in love with a lie that made you feel whole, then you're not ready to argue with me.
And then, gold, a flare, brief, blinding. The flame itself tightens, then fades, orange, red. She exhales, hands fall to her sides. She smiles like she left a scar behind. Speaker.
The floor's still open.
She stands at center. No one moves. I don't say a word. Then, a man. Far left row, no crown, heavy boots, tan coat. He rises, walks forward like the stage owes him something. No guards move, he climbs, stands beside her. The glow beneath his feet, red. Only red. He says nothing. She watches, still, 2 fires, one hot, one cold, still nothing. I watch, then speak. Cassian, do you intend to respond? He cracks his knuckles. Man, nah. Looks to her. Man.
I just wanted to see if it would light up for me.
It doesn't. He shrugs, steps down, leaves. A few chuckles stir the back. I nod once to the guards. They follow, quietly. She smirks, but says nothing. The tension isn't on the platform anymore. It's in the seats, because now they all know not everybody gets to burn here. She holds the floor, but no one challenges. No voices rise. No more fire builds. So I move again. Not because it's over, but because the moment belongs to me now. Cassian. This session is closed. The words land like punctuation, not permission. The fire beneath her feet fades, red, then black. She steps down, not rushed, not ashamed. Like she didn't just spill truth and walk away with her spine straighter than she came. The guards return to their posts. The room breathes, but not everyone moves. Nick leans forward in his seat, elbows to knees, fingers locked. His crown catches the light, unmoving. Rain Tami hasn't shifted. One hand on her knee, silent, calculating, watching the room watch itself. The Queen's seat, still empty, but now, every speaker glances at it before they rise. The silence thickens. I haven't moved. The platform glows red again, waiting. Then, the doors open. Quiet, controlled. A woman enters. Not one of ours, no crown. Just black jeans, a tucked-in tee, gold chain, and certainty in how she walks. She doesn't look at the stage. She looks at the crowd. Long enough for someone in the second row to look down. She walks to the stairs, hands in her pockets. I shift one step forward. Not to stop her, just to see if she'll flinch. She doesn't. Stranger.
I won't speak long, just long enough to say what I need to.
I hold her gaze, then nod. She climbs. The glow beneath her, red, then orange as soon as she hits center. She doesn't look down, only forward. Stranger.
Someone in this room said love was a lie that made them feel whole.
Pause. Stranger.
I came to say, I was that lie.
She paces, hands still in her pockets. No rush, no apology. Stranger.
I made them feel safe because I was smart enough to know what they wanted to hear. Gave them softness, gave them storms, gave them just enough silence to keep them chasing me.
She stops. Stranger.
But they never asked who I was chasing.
The glow jumps. Gold. Just for a second. Sharp. Real. She steps closer to the front. Stranger.
I want to ask the room one thing. If someone builds you whole with lies, and you fall in love with the version of yourself they reflect back, who's really to blame?
She folds her arms. Stranger.
I'll open the floor.
No one moves. Not yet. The whole room's holding its breath, not because they're unsure of her, because they're unsure of themselves. Who's the liar? Who's the believer? Who's the lie? She waits. Still burning. I stay quiet, arms behind my back, watching, not giving it a verdict, just giving it time. Nick leans forward, not to speak, but because something in him shifted. Rain Tami moves, just her fingers, lifting to her lips like they've heard something they didn't expect. The glow beneath the stranger's feet stays orange, solid, unmoving, until a voice from the crowd. Younger, nervous, but present. Voice from seat.
If I'm being honest, I was both.
The room turns. A boy, 20-something, hoodie too big, rings too loose. But his voice? Still. Boy.
I believed someone that wasn't real, then I became someone I wasn't, just so they'd stay.
He doesn't rise, doesn't ask, he just speaks. Boy.
So maybe we're all to blame, but maybe the first person who lied was the one who taught everybody else how to.
The stranger doesn't reply. She doesn't need to. The platform beneath her flares again. Orange, then nearly gold. And back. She exhales. I wait 2 beats, then step forward. Cassian. This session is closed. The fire fades beneath her feet. She descends. He stays seated. And the room? Changed. No longer just watching. Now calculating. Because now they know truth lives in flame. But fire? Fire chooses who gets to hold it. Somewhere in the castle, before a single heel ever touches the Inferno floor, the Queen is already being felt. They don't know if she'll come, but they know what it means if she does. Every time someone rises, every time the platform glows, there's always that glance toward the empty throne. Because when she enters, it's not just a moment. It's a reckoning. Backstage, I adjust my collar, lean slightly, say nothing. But I know this silence, and how loud it gets right before she answers it. The doors don't open. Not yet. But the air changes, like it's been told what's coming, and then Mr. rises from the shadows near the back wall, crown tilted, shirt unbuttoned just enough, one thick gold ring catching light as he rolls his neck. He doesn't announce, he doesn't smirk, he just moves, like weight walking on its own terms. Each step across the aisle reminds people he could have spoken any time. He chose now. He climbs the stairs, the glow beneath him, red then orange. No hesitation. He pauses center stage, breath steady, eyes slow. Then, Mr.
Let's talk about loyalty.
He walks once. Mr.
Not the word people throw around when it's convenient. Not the kind you post about after you betray somebody.
He stops at the edge. His voice never rises, but the room tilts toward him. Mr.
I mean the type that makes you bite your tongue when you could speak. The kind that keeps you kneeling even when nobody's looking.
The glow strengthens, orange humming beneath his boots. Mr.
There's people in this castle I'd protect with my life. People I love with everything I am. And there's people here I'd die twice for, without ever asking for a thing back.
A pause. Then he looks out. Mr.
But here's the question.
Chin lifts. Mr.
If loyalty means never leaving, what does it mean when the one you serve never asked you to stay?
Gold. It hits like a match dragged across soaked silk. But Mr.? He just stands there. Mr.
I'll open the floor.
The silence after Mister's words stretches, not hesitant but sacred. Gold hums beneath him. No one rushes to respond. Even Nick stays still, watching, brows drawn, lips parted like he wants to say something, but knows better than to talk while fire is still choosing. Then, Rain Tammy. Her fingers lift. Not to be called on. Not to ask. Just to let the room know. She will speak now. Mister's eyes flick once in her direction. He doesn't move, but he knows what's coming. She rises, walks like breath doesn't dare interrupt her, climbs the steps. The gold dims beneath Mister's feet, not gone, just making room. When her heel touches the platform, orange, controlled, steady, gorgeous. She doesn't look at him. She looks at the crowd. Rain Tami.
Loyalty without invitation is a risk.
She paces slow, like her fire doesn't need to run. It just needs to be seen. Regan Tami, you call it devotion. They might call it delusion. You kneel and they might never even look down. Then she stops, sharp, still. Rain Tami.
But sometimes, the ones who stay without being asked are the only ones who were ever real.
Gold, not a flare, a shimmer, subtle, earned. She turns, finally, toward Mister. No smirk, no challenge. Just Rain Tami.
Loyalty isn't about staying. It's about who notices that you did.
Mister doesn't blink, but his smirk, it flickers. Not arrogance, respect. She didn't just match his fire. She made it pause. He steps back, half a pace, not surrender. Just offering space, I step in. Cassian. This debate is closed. No argument, no applause, only flame, still orange beneath their feet, until it fades to red as they descend. No one rises right away, because that moment, that one, settled into their bones. Not every fire needs to scream. Some just burn in your spine. The room shifts again, but it's not a rustle, it's a bracing. Every eye tips toward the back. Not because someone is coming, because someone might. And then, the double doors open. No fanfare, no signal, just silence making space. She enters, crown already set, dress tailored to ruin the air, eyes forward, shoulders relaxed, like the fire wasn't lit without her. It just didn't know it yet. The platform doesn't wait. It glows gold the moment she walks, not because she asks it to, because it recognizes its center. No one speaks, no one dares, because this isn't drama, it's presence. She passes her favorites. Mister seated again, Rain Tami calm, Nick watching like he's memorizing every motion. I bow my head, subtle, measured, because now the floor belongs to her, even if she never speaks a word. She doesn't step onto the platform, she doesn't have to. She crosses the floor and chooses her seat, legs crossed, crown untouched. The gold at the center of the room, it stays, not flaring, not fading, just waiting. Because now the fire knows she's watching. The silence stretches, not dead air. Dominance. The speaker had been rising, almost. Now. She sits back down, hands tight on her knees. Not ready. Not with that gaze across the room. Even I don't speak, not because I don't know what comes next, but because I know the moment better than I know the order. So the Inferno room breathes in her quiet. Red at the edges, gold at the core. The silence holds. Not because the fire is out, but because no one's willing to walk through it yet. Then, movement. Far back. A woman rises, dressed in blood-colored velvet, hair braided like thorns. She doesn't hesitate, but she doesn't rush either. She's walked through nights like this before, and she survived them. She climbs the platform. The glow greets her slowly. Red, then orange, like the fire is listening first before it decides how deep to burn. She closes her eyes, lets the room feel her breath. Then, woman.
3 years ago, I buried a man I loved. He loved me so much. He died trying to protect a lie I told.
Silence. She opens her eyes. Woman.
The lie was that I didn't love him back.
She turns, each step careful, not weak, deliberate. Woman.
I've spent every day since then wondering if love is just devotion wrapped in guilt.
And then, her gaze lifts to one place, to Deja. Woman.
So, here's my question. Is it still love? If it only feels real when you lose it?
The glow stirs beneath her feet, a deep orange gold. The air shifts again. But Deja doesn't move, not even slightly. And the fire? It feels that. It dims, just slightly. Enough for the speaker to know that wasn't the heat this room came to see. She steps down, graceful, proud, but changed. I don't say a word. Not yet. A murmur stirs. Not about her. About what comes next. And that's when, from the far end, another man rises. He doesn't wear a crown, no suit. Just a black long sleeve, sleeves rolled to the forearms. Chain low on his chest like it's earned its weight. He doesn't perform. He struts. Like he already won something nobody here knows about. He climbs the stairs with one hand in his pocket. The fire below him doesn't flicker at first. It waits. He reaches center, pauses, then looks at the room like it's beneath him. Man, y'all ever tried to scam a scammer? The silence fractures just a little. Some lean in. The glow below him stirs. Orange. Man, because I did, not once. Deep. Different name, different city. She had money. But what she really had was cameras, eyes, systems. He smirks. Man. And I thought I was in love with her hustle. Turns out, I just wanted to beat her at it. He walks now. Smooth. Man. So I played along. Dinner, deals, traps, took what I could, left what she wanted to find. He stops at the front edge. The platform begins to flicker toward gold. Man. And when she finally caught me, she didn't call the cops. She kissed me, then walked out with everything. Low laugh. Man.
So here's the debate. What's worse, getting played by someone you knew was dangerous, or realizing you never stood a chance in the first place?
Gold. It hits the platform like it's been waiting. The crowd stirs for real this time. I remain where I am, letting him hold it. He doesn't move. He's just getting started. The fire doesn't waver. Gold hums beneath his feet like it wants more, and he knows it. He leans forward, one brow raised. Man.
See, what kept me up after? Wasn't the money, wasn't even the loss.
He starts pacing again, slow, like dragging memory behind him. Man.
It was the fact that for 1 second, in the middle of all the codes and fake names, I thought she actually saw me.
The platform pulses. Orange. Gold. He stops. Looks at the crowd. Man.
So maybe that's the real debate. Is the worst scam the one where they take everything from you, or the one where they almost give you something real?
That question doesn't just land. It sinks. A few heads turn, a shuffle in the back. Someone considers stepping forward. Then sits back down. Still too soon. I take a step forward. Ready to close it. Then I pause, because the platform, still gold, still his, until a chair scrapes, software deliberate, from the side aisle. A woman rises, not showy, just steady. Black blazer, hands in her pockets, voice low. She doesn't step forward, just speaks. From where she stands. Woman.
You said if you gave her warnings, the damage ain't yours.
Pause. Tilt of her head. Woman.
I'd call that convenient. You think fire gives disclaimers before it burns a house down?
The crowd shifts, not laughing, listening. She stays where she is. Woman.
We don't talk enough about how damage gets romanticized when it's dressed in warnings. Like a man ain't dangerous if he says he is.
Smirk now. Barely. Woman.
I've been both. The one who ignored the sirens and the one who played the soundtrack.
The platform flickers again. She's not on it, but it reacts anyway. Gold trembles at the edge. Woman.
So, what I want to know is this. If all your red flags were flying, why were you still surprised when she ran into them head first?
She sits. No victory in her face. Just truth returned to its seat. And the platform, it dims. Orange, then red. The man doesn't move, but his mouth twitches once. A smile that isn't smug, more like respect. Man, quietly.
Y'all ever see a storm blush?
A few chuckles, but he doesn't press. He steps down, silent, controlled. I rise, Cassian. The floor is closed on that heat. Clean, precise, and just like that, one flame dies so another might rise. The silence digs in, not dead, brewing, thick enough to weigh on every chest, and then heals. Not loud, not slow, just intentional. A man steps in from the side, Late 20s, tall, lean, locks tied half up, blazer thrown over one shoulder like he's not finished dressing or just didn't care to. He doesn't go straight for the platform. He circles it. One full lap, letting the light catch on his shoes, on his smirk, on his timing. Then he climbs, no words, until center. Then, man.
You ever lie to stay alive?
He doesn't wait. Man.
I ain't talking hunger or war. I mean socially, emotionally. The kind of lie where you smile when you want to scream. Say thank you when you mean fuck you.
The platform glows orange beneath him. His eyes close briefly, then reopen. Man.
My debate is this. If your truth would destroy every relationship you've ever built, is the lie still a betrayal, or is it protection?
He walks forward, steps to the front, gazes out like he's asking the room to admit they've been him. Man.
I want to know, have you ever told the truth and lost everything?
The fire pulses, orange, flirting with gold, and then, man.
I did. And the person I lost was me.
He doesn't open the floor, he just waits, backlit by flame, daring someone to answer. And someone does, but not with a body, with a voice hers, from the shadows, not loud, not theatrical, but undeniable. Deja speaks. Deja.
You sound like you miss the lie.
No movement. No shift in spotlight. But her voice, low, certain, carved from smoke, changes the room. Deja.
Truth ain't a weapon unless you swing it. You dropped yours and blamed the scar.
The man on the platform doesn't interrupt, doesn't smirk, just listens, tied at the jaw now. Deja.
If you told the truth and lost everything, you were either wrong about everything, or you told it too late.
And that's it. No more. No need. She's not on the platform, but the fire doesn't care. It flares. Orange. Then nearly gold. Then cools, confused, trembling. She hasn't moved, but she didn't need to. Then she does. Steps forward. No rush, no fanfare. Just presence, walking through silence like it owns the patent on it. The man on stage stiffens. He doesn't retreat, but something in him pulls back. The platform twitches, orange edging into gold just from proximity. She doesn't take the platform. She takes her seat again, crown gleaming, fire obedient. The room doesn't move. I don't breathe. And him? He finally speaks again, quieter, almost reverent. Man.
If truth told, too late, is betrayal, then you're right.
A beat. Then half a smile. Man.
Funny how it only matters once someone like you is listening.
Deja doesn't smile. Not yet. Leg crosses over the other, eyes on the fire below him, not on him. Then low, Deja.
Open your floor.
A verdict, not a suggestion. He exhales. Man, quiet.
Floor is open.
The fire holds, waiting, watching. And someone rises. From the fourth row. A woman leans forward, doesn't rise fully, just enough to let her presence cut through. Braids wrapped into a crown of their own, lips dark, eyes darker, calm, too calm. Woman from her seat.
I told the truth when it would have been easier to let him keep lying.
She doesn't name him. Doesn't need to. Woman.
Then I watched him build a new life on top of it. Not with me.
The fire beneath the man on stage flickers, gold, sharp and quick, like it wants to leave him and reach her instead. She crosses her arms and waits, not just for a reply, for a challenge. The room holds tight. Then, Nick, second row. He rises smooth, deliberate, adjusts his crown like it's part of the reply, walks the aisle like the platform belongs to him. The woman watches him come, smirking, daring. Nick.
Let me get this straight. You told him the truth, and that made you think he'd stay?
He stops at the stairs, one foot on the bottom step, just enough to test the heat. Nick.
I don't know what he built, but if a man starts building without you, your truth wasn't an earthquake. It was a blueprint.
Gasps. One laugh. Even she covers her mouth like, okay then. But he's not done. Nick.
Truth's only dangerous if it moves something. Yours? It was honest. I'll give you that. But if it didn't shake him, maybe it wasn't the kind of truth he was afraid of.
He climbs. The moment his boot hits center. Yellow. Gold. It doesn't flicker. It claims him. He looks at Deja. Doesn't say a word. Just stands in it. Like it's where he was always supposed to be. The woman doesn't argue. She just grins. Woman, grinning.
Or maybe he was just scared of staying and watching me become something without him.
She leans back, lets the room sit in it. I step forward, not to interrupt, to seal it. I stop just at the edge of the glow, where the platform fades into room. Look at Nick, then to her, then the fire. Cassian. The fire has spoken. No explanation. Just the truth of the moment. The platform fades, gold to orange, orange to red, like breath being released. I turn slightly, let the quiet hang. Then, Cassian. Next. And just like that, the debate is done. Nick doesn't smirk. He just steps down. The woman crosses one leg over the other again. Still unbothered. Still lit. The next speaker? Doesn't rise yet. Because that kind of moment, it lingers, not on stage, in the spine. It makes people check where they stand and who they kneel for. The pause that follows? It isn't hesitation. It's preparation. Eyes scan the aisle again, not for the next speaker, but for the next reckoning. And then, the double doors at the rear of the Inferno room begin to open. No sound, no announcement. But the silence bows anyway. Because when she moves, the Queen doesn't need to reclaim the room. The room remembers her. She steps through. No rush. Crown already set. Tailored dress sharp enough to slice silence in half. Eyes forward, shoulders clean. And the platform, it reacts before she even nears it. That long obsidian slab in the center of the firelit floor, already red, flickers once, then again, then burns straight into gold, because it knows what's coming. The crowd? Still as stone. Some don't even breathe. This isn't performance. This is presence. She walks past her favorites. Mr. leans back just slightly. Raintammy's gaze follows her every step. Nick? Eyes locked. Like he's watching the sun rise with no guarantee he'll live long enough to see it again. I don't speak. I just lower my head. Once. Because this part belongs to her. She doesn't take the platform. She doesn't need to. She crosses the floor like silk in flames and chooses her seat, calm, perfectly placed, as if the throne had been waiting for her spine to return. She sits, legs crossed, crown untouched, and that gold fire in the center doesn't flicker anymore. It waits, and now, every single voice, every flame that still hopes to rise, has to speak beneath her silence. The glow stays, the Queen hasn't moved, but the room, it's reeling. Not in chaos, in calculation. You can feel the fear shift shape from doubt to awe. Someone rises near the middle, a woman, 1 foot forward, but her hand tightens at her side. Eyes flick to the platform, then to Deja, and she knows. She's not ready. She sits back down. No shame, just reality. This moment was never hers. A shuffle through the crowd. A slight exhale here. A whisper there. But no one speaks. Because tonight, now, it's not about the fire, it's about who the fire bends for. Even I wait. Not out of protocol, out of discipline. The order is mine to know, but this moment isn't mine to touch. So the Inferno room breathes in her quiet, red at the edges, gold at the core, and finally, movement. From the very back, a woman. Dressed in velvet the color of blood, hair braided tight like thorns, posture straight, controlled. She walks with no rush, but no doubt either. She climbs the platform, the glow greets her slowly, red, then orange, then waiting. She closes her eyes, lets the fire feel her, then woman. 3 years ago, I buried a man I loved. He loved me so much he died trying to protect a lie I told. The hush doesn't break. She opens her eyes. Woman. The lie was that I didn't love him back. She turns slow. Each step like a confession. She rehearsed. Woman. I've spent every day since then wondering if love is just devotion wrapped in guilt. And now, she looks up at Deja. Woman. So here's my question. Is it still love? If it only feels real when you lose it? The fire stirs beneath her. Orange gold. The audience shifts, but Deja? Still, unblinking, and that is the answer. The fire flickers. The woman sees it. She steps down, graceful, unshaken. But she knows. That wasn't the flame the queen came to feel. She disappears into the seated crowd, but the glow lingers just a moment longer before slipping back to red. A murmur runs like a low tide through the seats. Not judgment, recognition. Then he rises, no crown, no ceremony. Just a man in a black long sleeve, forearms rolled, chain resting low like memory. He walks with weight, not swagger, intention. He climbs the stairs, and the fire doesn't flinch, it watches, red, only red. He pauses at center, looks out over the crowd like they owe him something. Then, man. Y'all ever been the bad guy in somebody else's story? No one breathes. He doesn't wait. Man, I don't mean the villain. I mean the one who knew they were dangerous. The one who said, don't fall for me. And they fell anyway. The platform flickers. Orange. He paces once. Thoughtful. Controlled. Man. Met her on a Thursday. By Monday, she thought she was in love. By Friday, she was trying to fix me. His voice stays level, but the heat underneath, it grows. Man, I told her I ruined things. Told her I've got ghosts that wear perfume. Told her my silence isn't deep, it's dangerous. He stops, hands open. Man, she still tried. A beat. Man. So here's my heat. If I give warnings and they ignore them, is the damage still mine to carry? Gold. Quick. Sharp. Then gone. Just enough to make the crowd sit up. He smirks to himself, barely. Man. I came here tonight to find out if y'all just like the sound of fire, or if anybody here knows what it feels like to burn someone slowly. And then, he steps back. Doesn't leave, just waits. He hasn't opened the floor. Not yet. He wants to see who dares. He doesn't rush. Doesn't raise his voice, just lets it settle. Man, I don't mean survival like food or bullets. I mean the lie you tell with a smile, the kind where you laugh at the joke that stings, where you nod when your whole body says no. The flame under him pulses, orange, strong. He walks forward. Man. Where I'm from, truth gets you killed faster than a lie ever did. So I learned to wear the version of me they wanted. He turns. Slow. Man. My question ain't fancy, ain't wrapped in metaphors. He stops at the front of the stage. Man. If your truth would cost you everything, is the lie still betrayal, or is it protection? The platform listens. Orange flickers toward gold. He pauses. Then, man, I told the truth once, and I didn't lose her. I lost me. That's the cut. He doesn't open the floor. He just stands in it, silent, letting the crowd feel the scorch, until, from the shadows, a voice, software certain, sharp as silk drawn over skin. Deja, you sound like you missed the lie. The shift isn't loud, it's exact. Her voice, low, smooth, untouched by urgency, halts time. Deja, truth is not a weapon unless you swing it. A pause. Even the flames seem to lean in. Deja, you dropped yours and blamed the scar. He doesn't speak. He doesn't have to. Because her silence now? It's declarative. Deja, if you told the truth and lost everything, you were either wrong about everything, or you told it too late. No rise in tone, no spike of anger, just precision, like a surgeon laying the final stitch. The platform beneath him flickers gold, then stutters. The room knows it too. That fire recognizes a higher heat. He lowers his head slightly, not in defeat, in recognition. Man, quiet. If truth told too late is betrayal, then you're right. Beat. Then, like a final note whispered to the flame. Man, funny how it only matters once someone like you is listening. The glow burns gold for half a second longer, then fades. He steps down, measured, intact, but no longer holding the room. That belongs to her now. Still seated, still crowned, still silent. The fire simmers down, red again. Not cold, just waiting. A few shifts in the crowd. Some look toward the stage, others toward the queen. Because now every speaker left knows the truth. They aren't just speaking to a room. They're speaking under her reign, and still, a hand rises. Not a man. Not a favorite. Just a girl, young, braids down her back. Jacket 2 sizes too big. She doesn't stride. She walks like this isn't about her. Just something that needs to be said. She steps onto the platform, and the fire stays red. But it's listening. Girl, softly. My mama told me I don't have to light myself on fire to keep somebody else warm. She pauses, looks at the queen and then down. Girl, but she never told me what to do when they still reach for the match. A murmur, low. This isn't fire for dominance, it's fire for survival. Girl, I've been called angry for saying no, cold for staying quiet, difficult for asking what I deserve. She looks up now. Voice doesn't shake. Girl, my question is this. If I let myself be small to stay loved, is it love I'm keeping, or just the illusion of safety? The platform flickers. Orange, briefly, then back to red. She doesn't flinch. She doesn't wait for it to glow. She just steps back and sits, not with shame, with peace, because not all fire is for applause. Some just need to be seen. A shift now, not from the floor, from the Queen's section, the velvet chairs reserved for those who burn too brightly to sit anywhere else. And from the far end of that row, Rain Tami stands. No pretense, no performance. Just a woman who doesn't ask for permission to speak, because her presence has always been the sentence. She descends with ease, not grace borrowed, but owned. And when her boot hits the obsidian, the platform flares gold instantly. No building, just acknowledgement. She paces once, hands behind her back, eyes sweeping the crowd. Then, Rain Tami, y'all talk about truth like it's a weapon, but you ever held a blade and realized you didn't want to cut them? You wanted to watch them bleed. The air catches, not gasps. Stillness. She walks to the edge of the firelit stage. Rain Tami, I told someone once, you can lie to the world, but not to me. A beat, Rain Tami. He lied anyway. She turns, slow. Rain Tami. So I let him. Watched him build his house on falsehood. Watched him invite other women in. Watched him toast to it. She shrugs. Rain Tami. And when it collapsed, he came to me crying, asking why I didn't stop him. Now she looks dead at the center of the crowd. Not accusing, just true. Rain Tami. My debate ain't about love or survival. It's about blame. When someone burns themselves with a match you handed them, who does the scar belong to? Gold, blazing now, unyielding. She doesn't move to leave. She just waits. Like the answer better come correct. The platform blazes gold beneath Rain Tami's boots, but she doesn't move. She just looks out, still, composed, like her heat didn't need a response, just recognition. She gives no one the satisfaction of seeing her leave in haste. Instead, she descends slow, deliberate. The glow under her feet doesn't fade until she's nearly off the stage. Only then does the gold fall back to red, still simmering, but spent. And the room? It's breathless. No one dares follow that. No sudden rises, no last-minute confessions. Even the silence feels scorched. And then, my voice, not loud, just final. Cassian. The floor is closed. I stand, step forward, let my shadow fall across the center flame. Cassian, the fire has heard you, judged you, measured your heat. The obsidian beneath my feet begins to cool, no glow, no pulse, just smoke. Cassian, some of you burned for her. Some of you burned for yourselves. Some of you burned out. I turn toward the queen. She hasn't moved, but the room bows toward her stillness, and I speak the last words not to them, but for her. Cassian, this session is complete.